Welcome back. Today on this explainer, we are embarking on a truly mind-bending journey. We're going to decode the mystical origins of the universe, and we're actually going to do it by blending the ancient, profound wisdom of Vedanta with something you literally use every single day, modern technology and software. We're going to see exactly how ancient sages managed to describe the mechanics of creation thousands of years before we even had the vocabulary for things like computer hardware or executable files. So let's start here. What if the entire universe was born the exact same way you were? I want you to really think about that for a second. We almost always separate cosmology, the birth of massive galaxies and stars, from biology, the birth of human life. But what if they actually share the exact same blueprint? What if the vast macrocosm of deep space and the tiny microcosm of your own cellular biology are really just two different scales of the exact same process? Okay, let's dive into this with Section 1. The ultimate cosmic womb and the matrix of creation. To really wrap our heads around this matrix of creation, we have to start with an absolutely incredible concept from chapter 14 of the Bhagwad Geeta. It's called Mahad Brahma, or sometimes Prakriti. Now, this is fascinating because traditional commentators like the great philosopher Madhusudana Saraswati make it very clear that Mahad Brahma does not refer to some supreme being sitting up in the sky. Instead, it refers to the cosmic womb. It's the completely undifferentiated matrix of creation. Imagine a state of reality where there are zero galaxies, no planets, no plants, no human beings. Everything remains in this totally unmanifested condition. It's pure, raw potential. Think of it like a single tiny seed that secretly contains an entire sprawling forest hidden inside it, just waiting to burst into existence. And this idea is perfectly captured in the Bhagwad Geeta, chapter 14, verses 3 and 4. It says, "My womb is the great nature. In that I place the seed. Thence is the birth of all beings." The text goes on to explain that for all species, this great matrix is the mother, and the divine is the seed-giving father. But here's the absolute critical part of the equation. A womb, no matter how impossibly vast or full of potential it is, cannot create life entirely on its own. For the universe to actually ignite, for that literal big bang of life to happen, a catalyst, a seed, has to be planted inside that matrix. Which brings us to Section 2, the seed of divine intent and the intelligent cause. So if Mahad Brahma is the physical potential, what exactly is the spark that sets the whole thing off? Well, we have to look at the intelligent cause. Because this seed isn't a physical object. It's not some particle of matter. It's pure intention. In Sanskrit, this is called sankalpa. And more specifically, it's the divine resolve known as bahusyama, which literally translates to, "I should multiply into many," or "let me become many." The universe doesn't begin with matter. It begins with purpose. It's the primordial, singular impulse of the cosmos basically saying, I want to go from a state of one to a state of infinite multiplicity. So the crucial point here is that you absolutely need both sides of this equation for anything to happen. On the left side, we have Mahad Brahma, the material cause, the cosmic womb. It's the hardware, the raw stuff of reality. On the right side, we have the sankalpa, the intelligent cause, the divine intent to multiply. For the universe to exist in any recognizable form whatsoever, this physical matrix and this intelligent intention must fuse together perfectly. Now, let's look at Section 3, forging the cosmic zygote and Hiranyagarbha. When that cosmic womb and that divine seed finally fuse, the result is wildly dramatic. We immediately move from unmanifested potential to the actual working blueprint of all reality. The result of this fusion is what Vedanta calls Hiranyagarbha. Now, Hiranya means golden, and Garbha means womb or egg. So it's the golden egg of creation. Or, keeping with our biology analogy, this is the ultimate cosmic zygote. In Vedantic cosmology, the Rig Veda describes this golden egg floating on the primordial waters right before creation. It is the cosmic mind. Just as a tiny human zygote contains the entire genetic blueprint needed to build a staggeringly complex human body, Hiranyagarbha is a universal consciousness containing the blueprint for every single galaxy, every star, and every individual mind that will ever exist. It's literally the absolute totality of all individual souls. Enthusiastically moving on to Section 4, 8.4 million executable files and the tech analogy. All right, this is where things get really dynamic. How do we go from one single cosmic zygote to the incredible, messy diversity of life we see everywhere around us? 8,400,000. According to these ancient traditions, when the cosmic zygote undergoes fission, when it actually multiplies into the many, it bursts forth into 8.4 million yonis, or species of life. From the oldest trees, to animals, to us humans, these are the 8.4 million forms of life that manifest into the universe. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how this ancient system works by mapping it perfectly to what we know today. The 8.4 million yonis, or species, are essentially biological DNA, which, in our modern tech analogy, are unique .exe software files. Think of it as tree.exe, lion.exe, or human.exe. Next, the physical body of the biological organism is simply the computer hardware that the software runs on. Finally, karma, which dictates exactly how that genetic expression plays out in an individual's life, acts identically to individual user data. Guys, thousands of years before Silicon Valley even existed, and without a single annoying software update, these ancient sages essentially described complex software deployment on a massive cosmic scale. Let's move to Section 5, Karma, running your code and why every computer is different. So, seeing how this builds, it raises a very logical question. If you and I are both humans, meaning our hardware is running the exact same base human.exe software file, why are our lives, our bodies, and our daily experiences so completely different from one another? Well, it happens in 3 distinct steps. First, the cosmic zygote uploads the .exe file, the human species code. Second, the hardware boots up. That's your physical body being born. But the real magic happens in step 3. Loading the user data. The base software is totally identical, but the user data loaded into it changes everything about how that specific program runs. And in this ancient system, that user data is called karma. Your incredibly unique user data is split into 2 main categories. First up is Sanchita karma. Think of this as your massive cloud storage. It is the vast, hidden database of all your accumulated past actions over countless lifetimes. It's huge, but it's not all running at once. Second is Prarabdha karma. Now this is the active data. This is the highly specific set of files downloaded straight into your RAM for this current lifetime, actively manifesting in your current runtime. This active data modifies how your specific human.exe program functions, ensuring that literally no 2 instances of the human program ever run identically. Your greatest joys, your daily struggles, your unique quirks, all of that is simply your Prarabdha data interacting with the base code. Finally, Section 6, returning to the source and breaking the egg. We've traveled all the way from the unmanifested cosmic womb to that initial spark of divine intent to the golden egg of creation, and all the way down to the highly individual software running in your specific biological hardware right now. But what is the actual end game of all this? We must now return to the source. Dr. Surabhi Solanki captures this perfectly in her analysis of Hiranyagarbha. She writes, "Do not stop at the golden egg. Break it. The golden light is not the sun. The sun is not the source. The source is what you are." The ultimate goal in Advaita Vedanta isn't just to blindly play out your software program, lifetime after lifetime. It's to deeply realize that your individual consciousness, your specific mind, is not actually separate from the cosmic mind. You aren't just the hardware, and you definitely aren't just the user data. You are the original source code. So I want to leave you with this final thought to ponder. You are a localized, living manifestation of the cosmic zygote, running a specific program entirely shaped by your own data. But the source of it all is right there within you. So will you just keep running your code on autopilot, or are you ready to look inward, discover your true nature, and break the golden egg? Thank you so much for exploring the cosmic womb with us today. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.